What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 5 ways British and American yards, gardens, very true, are very different. I suppose we've kind of touched upon this a little bit with his new house and stuff like he's done videos, hasn't he? And the thing what always comes to my mind, which we always mention, is white picket fences. Very American.
Yeah, but not so common. Like, they are seen in the richer neighbourhoods, aren't they?
Yeah, it's more of a... Obviously in the movies we see white
But I think the
picket fences all
contrast
the
to
time.
the white picket fence is the metal.
Yeah, the chain link fencing. So
We
that,
have wooden.
Again, that is very American as well. In the UK, you basically just find wooden everywhere. It literally is just a standard wood in it.
Yeah,
There might be obviously outliers, but from my experience,
Yeah.
it's just wood.
And also another one, which maybe mentioned, I don't know if it is because we haven't seen the video.
Yeah, I know.
The white picket fences are usually in the front, aren't they? The front yard.
Yeah, the front
And
yard.
a lot of the backyards don't have fencing at all.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that in a lot.
Oh, okay, let us know what you guys
A
think.
lot of
in the comments.
movies don't have any.
I've seen a lot of a lot of chain link fences in the back.
I've not seen a lot of like any fencing in the back.
Oh, there you go. Let us know in the comments. I've never seen that, but
Whereas
we'll
we have
find
like
out.
high ones. We don't like our
Yeah,
neighbours.
we get high wooden ones. Stay away from your neighbours. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that subscribe button. Shout out to me, she's 39 weeks pregnant as we record this. So if we randomly stop, it's because she's going into labour. You guys get into it?
Yeah.
5 ways British American yards / gardens are very different. What we got?
Sprinklers, I suppose, are pretty essential, and I can tell you from experience, on a hot summer's day, if you're walking down the street and one of them accidentally goes off on you, it can be quite a pleasant experience, unless you're carrying your phone.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have sprinklers that often, so we don't need them.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to gardens, or should I say, yards. Because that's the first memo, really, when Americans say that the dogs are playing outside in the yard. That's equivalent to the British saying that the dogs are playing outside in the garden.
Yeah.
And actually, while we're on the subject, does anybody else 21 years later wonder if that person ever let the dogs in? Whoever it was, there's a safe bet that those dogs would have experienced a much different yard / garden, depending on whether they were in Britain or America.
Oh,
And
100%.
since, over
Yeah.
the last year, I've done videos outlining the differences between British and American houses, kitchens and bathrooms. I thought now would be a great time to do the same thing with residential yards. And you might be thinking, why
gardens.
would you do
Yeah.
a video like this right now when nobody gives a lick about their gardens? And the truth is, I miss having a garden. And also, those videos are being picked up by the YouTube algorithm right now. So,
Fair-
you know, I
fair
want to
play, Lawrence.
capitalise. And
Fair
so, without
play.
further ado, here are those ways that British and American yards are very different.
Ambience.
I love that sound.
That's very
The
British.
truth is,
That
on
was
a
very
warm
British.
summer's day, you really can't beat the quiet, relaxing ambience of either country's yards. But think back to summer, think back to your childhood. What is the overriding sound? It could be dogs barking or a builder putting down a mug.
Okay.
In my experience, if
Putting
you
down a
strip
mug.
away-
Nah, mine's the sound of my sister being drowned by my other sister in the swimming pool.
Wait, what? That was really deep. That was like very, very deep.
Yeah, it's a running joke in my family now because
Oh,
we were
that
like,
was so deep.
no, I don't know, the sister that got drowned must have been like 8 or something. Like, no, maybe like 6
So
actually.
that is your sound of summer every year.
But I think she was being annoying in the paddling pool, and
Yeah.
my other sister was like,
That's it. You're
but
not
then-
making it another day.
yeah. But then she came out, walked into the, obviously like through the back door back into the house,
Yeah.
and vomited all over my mum's.
Wow. Yo, I ain't going anywhere near your sister anymore. I'm staying
We don't go
away.
anywhere near her anyway.
No, I mean like a meal. If it's like, oh, you sit next to her. No, I'm
I'll
moving.
tell you which one it is after.
Yeah, I'm moving. I'm not sitting next to her.
You can probably guess which one it is.
Away all of that, the most consistent sound in both countries comes from things with wings. Across much of Britain, the winged creature in
Oh my God, it's
question
so British,
is
that
a
garden.
wood pigeon.
Yeah,
They
that is so
basically
British.
hang out in
Watching.
people's gardens. That's what they do. And they make this noise that you don't really hear very often in the United States, and that noise is this.
Yeah, true. That's okay, Lawrence.
Sorry to the wood pigeon community for that. And while we certainly have types of pigeons in the United States, this large bugger isn't one of them. Look at him. He's already had 3 courses. He's going in for his second
There's a
dessert.
fat pigeon.
There's a big bird in it. You hate
On the other
birds.
hand, when I think of the soundtrack to American Yards, there's only one creature that comes to mind. Chainsaw Jim from next door, but also crickets. Now, we talked about these
Okay.
excitable creatures before on Lost in the Pond, so I won't be propagating their sinful activities any further. But suffice to say, that recognizable sound, so that was a bee. That was
I was saying, well,
is
very
very
bee-like.
prevalent throughout Midwestern summers. In Britain, the same is true of these. For a
Oh,
country that's reluctant
big in the UK, aren't they?
Massive.
Everyone, not everyone, obviously not everyone. A lot of people have dryers, but I would say at least half.
In this summer, I would argue that more than half have the washing line.
Definitely, I don't know what video we did, which is making me think we did this one, but I definitely checked we didn't do it.
I've never done this video before.
We recently talked about clotheslines.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had a comment saying that no, 90% of people in Britain don't. And it was an American telling me. And again, all due respect, it was somebody, I'm not going to name them because they'll like it. They just like to comment on every single, like literally, I'm not going to ban them because
I know it is, I just remember.
they comment every single one. And because we see 90% of comments, we don't reply to all of them because unfortunately we can't. But we do see them pop up.
But we see this name pop up.
And
every
everyone's like, nah,
video.
there's no way that a lot of people have clotheslines in Britain. Like, no, we do. Like, I would say every single garden I've been in has a clothesline.
Do you know what? I'm going to run off here for a sec. I'll come back in a sec. Like, the fact that this person has told you
Yeah.
that British people don't have it when they don't live in Britain,
Yeah.
it's like us saying in America you don't have white picket fences.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it's not an issue.
Like,
Thing is, at the
Yeah,
end of the
but
day,
no,
I
but
just see it
it's
just
just
makes me
funny
laugh.
because it was that person.
I always feel like my always motto with you legends as well. Try and be happy. So I do find it a bit sad that some people do literally just go on a video to make a comment, which is fair enough. Live your life however you want. I'm not.
And we
bothered.
can take criticism. But this is every video the same person.
Yeah, no,
Always negative.
but
never
it
positive.
just makes you laugh. It was him. But we can only go off our opinions. But my dad, my mum, my other
And-
family members all had
Yeah, same with me.
clotheslines
Same
outside.
with me. My nan even had it, and she lived in an apartment block.
Yeah,
They had it
maybe
joint
the rest of the
outside.
UK doesn't. But that's all I'm going to give my opinion. If everyone else's opinion is different, fair enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
You've lived in several houses, haven't you, growing up?
Yeah, every house I've lived in.
That's what I mean. I've moved
Yeah.
quite a lot, and every house I've been in, we've had a clothesline
So
outside.
they are quite big in the UK. But like I say, what do we know? And also,
Yeah,
if you do have any criticism, please criticise us. But just do it in a polite way. Like,
Yeah,
a
I'm
polite
not-
way, why not?
not every single video.
Yeah.
reluctant to air its dirty laundry in public, Britain has no problem doing just that with clothes straight out of the washing
I'm
machine.
so glad he's done this.
Now, there are some drawbacks to doing this. Number one, the pegs can help deteriorate the fabric.
Oh,
And
can
number
they?
two,
Did your mum used to have a peg bag?
Yeah, take
Did you used
back.
to play with it?
Yeah, and you see how many can get on my face
Yeah,
and
we
then
used
it's
to do that
hurt.
too. And then
yeah.
she'd be like, why are you breaking all my pegs?
Yeah, pretty
takes
much.
flipping ages. But on the plus side, it's eco-friendly, your clothes flap in the wind in a really pleasing way, and they end up smelling like Britain. But after moving to America, I was surprised to find a distinct lack of washing lines in people's yards. And that makes it sound like I've been snooping, but the truth is, I have. Now, of course, there will be Americans watching this going, we have a clothesline, because all Americans sound like Kermit the Frog for some reason. Or, we had a clothesline in the 70s, or whatever. Right, there are exceptions.
Definitely.
And there are a couple of good reasons for this. Firstly, the United States doesn't do the whole let's have a washer and dryer in one combined unit thing. They just have really effective dryers. And
Yeah,
the
we don't
second
have
reason
that
is
at
that
common.
in parts of the United States, homeowners associations have actually moved to ban it, citing them as eyesores that could devalue the property. However, a few years ago, several states did pass right to dry laws, which
Oh,
specifically
wow.
forbid those associations placing ban on clotheslines. But even with a sharper gaze on the environmental benefits, America still ain't got nothing on Britain. Of course, if my neighbours are so reluctant to see my socks and my underpants and that mysterious Princess Leia bikini, perhaps they should consider the size of this.
Mysterious princess. Oh, we got that. We see legend in a second, but that took a bit of a turn.
Interesting.
Oh, we got tall
Firstly,
fencing
let
in
me
the UK.
clarify, if you're
Very tall.
confused and you think the word fencing is used here to indicate that British people use their gardens for sword fighting,
For
you're
sword fighting?
wrong.
What
That
are
was
the
phased
noises?
out in the 90s. Fencing as in the protective perimeter around your yard. And in Britain, front yards don't so much as have a fence, but often a brick wall
Yep, that's
and
common.
a gate. These walls
Oh my God,
can
that's
range
so
in
British,
height
it
from
hurts
half
my
a Danny
eyes.
DeVito to an entire Danny DeVito. It's also not uncommon in Britain for both the front and the backyard to be surrounded by a hedge. Where you might see a fence, usually that of the wooden variety, is in the back garden, and this is often replicated in the United States.
Oh,
But there
okay.
are a couple of areas within the world of fences that America does things differently. Firstly, I was kind of thrown aback by the vast amount of front yards that don't have anything. Not a fence, not a hedge, not an army of gnomes. And on the one hand, I like this because it seems quite inviting, but on the other, it does encourage people to trespass onto Chainsaw Jim's yard. What Chainsaw Jim really needs is a white picket fence, something that's famously common to the United States.
Yeah.
But one area where fencing tends to be more prevalent is the American backyard. And while this can indeed include wooden fences, there's one type of fence you'll see here that is not common in Britain: chain link.
Yeah.
And I understand that most Americans probably don't give these fences a second thought. But to me, they're amazing, and one of these days I'm going to install one so tall I can use my garden to have a steel cage match.
Sprinklers, we don't need
Entered
them.
my first spring here in the United
Every so often, it will get ridiculously hot, and we'll put them out for a couple of days.
Yeah, I feel like sprinklers are mainly used in like houses with bigger like outdoor space.
Big outdoor space.
But like,
really
if you have like a
look
veg
after
patch or something
Yeah.
like that.
But some houses do have. I think my dad used to have one just for when it would be. We went on like a week drought, get a sprinkler on it. But most of the time it rains in England enough, doesn't it?
Yeah, rains enough.
States. One thing that really stood out to me
We used
was
to have a little
the
octopus sprinkler.
Oh, there you
Toy
go.
one.
An octopus one. There
Yeah,
you
for
go.
us to play in.
prevalence of sprinklers. People stick them out of their front lawns, and we don't do this in the UK because our sprinklers are placed in the clouds. But because of a Midwestern climate that doesn't really lend itself to effective lawn care, sprinklers, I suppose, are pretty essential. And I can tell you from experience, on a hot summer's day, if you're walking down the street and one of them accidentally goes off on you, it can be quite a pleasant experience unless you're carrying your phone.
Sorry. Oh,
Once
bigger
again, if
gardens
you've
in
been watching
America.
my videos for any length of time, you'll know that there are two constants: my confused expression and the fact that my videos always come back to size. And yards are absolutely no different. Let me tell you a story. When I was approximately one Danny DeVito tall, I, like any child, used to play in my garden. By Britain's standards, this garden was of relatively average size. So whenever my rich friend from the village over invited me round to his, I couldn't believe that his garden was so big that his dad had built him a miniature railway. By Britain's standards, this could have been the garden of a millionaire. Or not, because after moving to the United States, I realised that no, that's the size of everyone's garden here. In that childhood garden, I was banned from playing soccer because you're only ever 5 feet away from the kitchen
Yeah,
window.
that's true.
However, at my in-laws' house in Indiana, I don't think I could have hit the window if I'd tried. And I did try.
Why did he try?
Now, before we finish, a quick rapid fire of miscellaneous items. Hanging flower baskets. Which country does them more?
UK.
Britain.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Gnomes. Garden gnomes.
Ooh,
I would argue Britain.
I'd say UK as well.
I don't know about America side of it.
Yeah,
But I
Britain
know
it's quite
Britain
common
do
in
do
Britain. Yeah.
Britain again, although you do find them in the US according to my Twitter feed. Barbecue pits. Definitely
America.
Not in Britain.
Yeah, definitely
We don't have
America.
the weather for that.
Yeah, we don't have
definitely
them.
America. In fact, I don't remember seeing one of those at all in Britain. We do have
Barbecues,
barbecues,
but not-
we don't have the pit often. I don't think anyway. I never had one.
Yeah, I've never
Why
had
don't
one.
I have one?
You'd be rich.
Yeah, you gotta be rich to have
Rich
it,
to
but
have a
in the
barbecue,
UK.
and you'd have probably put it in yourself and all that.
Yeah,
Like, it's-
yeah,
What?
just normal barbecues.
Bugs. I'm not sure that either country
I
has
dunno.
more bugs than the
Ants,
other.
we get
They just have
ants.
different types. Midwestern gardens will get way more mosquitoes, fireflies, things like that. Britain, you'll see more slugs and snails than you do
Okay.
here. Who has more flowers in their garden? Again, this might come down to the type rather than the quantity. But having said that, I think British gardens can be perceived to be more flowery because their gardens are smaller, so they have to pack
Yeah,
more.
Oh,
in.
okay,
Compact.
that
Which
makes sense.
country's gardens are more likely to have a pond?
Ooh.
I don't know.
My
The
nan
answer
had
to
a
that
pond at her
question
house, I
is
fell
lost
in it.
one. That's it for this episode.
Oh,
Let me
funny.
know in the
I had a
comments.
massive scar on top of my head.
Oh, wow, sorry. I thought I was going to put it. But did the fish say hi?
Oh.
Did the fish say hi?
There's no fish in it.
Oh,
It's just
well,
a dirty pond.
a pond, no, it should have fish in,
And
surely.
the
Well,
same
that is shame on
sister
you, Nan.
that drowned the other
I'm
sister
staying away from this
is the
sister.
one that was chasing me. That's why I fell
Yeah,
over.
she's evil.
And then I ended up tripping over the pond and falling into the shed and cracking my head open.
Oh, she didn't fall in the pond.
No, I tripped over the
Oh, I
pond.
thought like you were going in the pond saying hi to the fishes.
There's no fish.
Oh, that's not as
It just goes
exciting.
out. It wasn't exciting.
That's what everyone, guys. Smash the subscribe and watch the video.
Have a fantastic
And
day.
we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.